Hello, and welcome to September's energy update, specifically for lightworkers, healers, intuitives, heart-centered souls who are here to help. Now, I'm Casey Knight, founder of Luminous Evolution, and I'm here to help the helpers navigate the energy that we are dealing with right now so they can actually show up in their magic and light up the world, because I know that's what you're here to do. Now, if you were with me last month, August was called Shake It Up, and I had some trouble delivering this message because usually I am able to tune into stuff that doesn't involve having to put any scare or doom or gloom. And I think I did a good job of delivering the message without being like, and be afraid, because everything was happening for us. But it was me literally witnessing that we were going to be shaken on the physical, geopolitical, and personal levels. And I mean, in addition to a much more active like earthquake zone and volcanoes and things like that, there were a lot of shakeups for people personally and professionally, as well as, again, politically and communally. And also, it's all happening for us. It's all happening for us, for our evolution, for our ascension, to show us the shit that's been under the surface for way too long so we can see it and heal it. In September, we're going to get into what the energy is going to be like by both looking at the astrology and the archetypes and how to handle it. But I also always take sort of a psychic look at it, and I don't always enjoy the images that I share. I am here to be a channel. I'm here to be a vessel. I'm here to speak the truth that I see it. And this one was weird. So again, my human is like, ugh, do you have to say this? But yes, I do. What I am going to share is that when I said, show me September, I literally saw a goddess flinging fireballs at us. And those fireballs were these suns. So intuitively, I, asked, and I'm speaking with my highest self, my team, it all comes to me in this beautiful divine package. And I was like, is this like coronal mass ejections and light codes from the sun? And they were like, yeah, basically there's gonna be more solar activity, both in the form of these coronal mass ejections. You might see more auroras and things like that, just a lot more space weather. But on the human side, what that means, and this doesn't always come with those literal physical bursts, sometimes it happens in an etheric plane, it's upgrades, light codes. These are here to really, again, illuminate the crap that's not working and burn it away because it's no longer serving, and also help us illuminate what it is that's next, what we're here to do. So there's a lot of information that's going to be coming through. Now, as this psychic vision continues, I saw three groups of people. There were people who were dodging it and like totally almost like in a bunker, so they didn't receive any of the upgrades. These are the people who are committed to staying where they are. They are going to have a very uncomfortable time. It's going to get very hot and very bright for them, and there's going to come a point in time where you can't actually ignore the upgrades anymore. The other group of people that I saw was standing there and being pummeled by these, and you could see them like burning up, and it was like a cartoon, them like turning into a crisp. And I know this is not literal. We're not going to be hurled fireballs from the sun. It's a dramatic metaphor Spirit team is showing me for people that are going to be receiving the upgrades who are not ready for them. And they're going to find the intensity, are going to make them burny and crispy, and it's going to be painful. The third group is the people who are ready for the upgrades, who have been doing the work. And what I saw was them holding these swords. And these swords have a material on them that was able to catch the flaming balls of sunlight, but literally suns that were flying at us. And then the sword would light on fire, and they'd be like dancing with these flaming swords, and they'd be able to wield it to their advantage. So again, it's all metaphor, and how evocative. If you are doing the work and if you are prepared and you know what's coming, and I'm telling you right now, so you know, so you get to be in the third group. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to fear. You get to just use these upgrades for your advantage. And because we're heading into eclipse season early here in September, like, yeah, it's going to be transformative and it's going to be intense and it's going to be painful for some people, if not a little painful for everyone. But remember, pain does not have to equal suffering. You don't have to suffer through the upgrades. The thing that makes us suffer is when we're clinging on to the past and we're clinging on to things that really need to go and we're not willing to let them. So my invitation to you is to flow with it, to be prepared, to catch those upgrades with your flaming sword and really take care of yourself so you can basically choose the adventure of expansion and evolution consciously. Because if we don't consciously choose this, it's like being dragged behind a truck or being pelted by, the sun and getting caught off guard and getting a 3rd-degree burn just from going outside, right? We do have to have a level of preparation in order to receive and be cool with it. So you have this choice. I invite you to choose. I invite you to choose right now, right? As we open, there's also some really, September, by the way, that's what we're opening. There's some interesting astrology that I want to talk about. So the sun is going to be in Virgo, and I'm not going to list every planet's action. There are astrologers that can do it way better than me. I'm giving you the highlights that are going to help you handle and navigate the energy that is coming up and what to expect. So we do have Pluto retrograding from Aquarius, where it's been for a while, back into Capricorn for some time. And it was in Capricorn for a really long time, hundreds of years. And as it's moving into Aquarius, we are going through a revolution. Pluto is one of these outer planets that is really deep inner transformation, and it changes like the epoch that we are in, the paradigm that we are in. And as we moved into Aquarius, we started to see all kinds of really cool technologies be released, a lot of like new AI stuff, all kinds of crazy cool stuff. And it's going to return into Aquarius, but for now, we're coming into Capricorn for a little while, which is great because as Pluto was in Aquarius, I was telling people this is a time to connect with your future vision. This is a time to bring through what it is that you're here to do, what you want for humanity, what you want for the world. How can we evolve? How can we grow? How can we be the visionary leaders? How can you tune into the energy of possibility and dream it in? And then as we retrograde back into Capricorn, and I did tell you this was going to be this opportunity for you, it's to actually put it into action. It's to actually build it. Capricorn is the master builder, daddy energy of systems and structures that can support the kind of revolution and evolutionary energy that we're wanting to bring in. So this is your time to really feel into what you had been dreaming into, say from the solstice or from your times of going like, what could we do? What could I do? How could this be better? And go, okay, now what do we need? What do we need to make that happen? So use that energy now to go, especially as the sun is in Virgo too. Again, very practical energy, this earth energy. It's like, what do we need to build? And with this sun in Virgo and the new moon in Virgo coming in on September 3rd, this is just an ideal time to look at the very personal rhythms and structures that you have, as well as the ones that you have in perhaps your business or professional life. What can we do to bring this energy into something that is going to support you? When Virgo is out of balance, we see way over perfectionism, like dialed up to 1,000, meaning obsession with the tiny details and getting bogged down and not actually able to make any forward momentum and just like overthinking and all kinds of things. So that's always a possibility with this archetype. But the aligned ascended Virgo energy, the Virgo goddess, is a priestess who has this divine flow, and she is not too far into the perfectionism, but she's not letting the little details slide either. So this is where we want to hang out and set our intention for attention and care to the details without making ourselves crazy. Okay, it is the balance. It's all about divine flow and also bringing the sacred into the mundane, bringing the sacredness into the unsexy tasks that are actually what moves us forward, like the doing the dishes and brushing your teeth, like the building your business by, learning some tax law and things like that. It's actually understanding that these little details, the things that we don't want to do because they're not exciting and they're not sexy and they don't feel really great, they're what get us to that future potential. So if you can work with this Virgo energy, as well as keeping that Capricorn Pluto in mind, you can really set yourself up with systems and structures that are here to serve you, not hinder you, okay? The systems and structures that are going to actually let you find your flow, the ones that are going to really be supportive, okay? This is really, really important. Now, as we move forward in the month, there's a full moon in Pisces on the 18th of September. And it's our first lunar eclipse of this season. And let's talk for a minute about eclipses. They are wormholes. And when we go through a wormhole, you can go through in a linear path and be deposited where you would normally be. But also you can kind of do some quantum leaping. You can exit the wormhole in a completely different reality, meaning that you can do some identity work. You can become someone new. You can release the old and be reborn. And the 3 eclipses that we have are actually pretty compact. They're over the course of a month. And so you're going to be deposited out the other end on October 17th. And this is our opportunity to go, we're ready for the next stage. We're going to make a leap by releasing the stuff that is in the way. And because this full moon is in Pisces, it's a really potent one for, again, the light workers, the healers, the dreamers, because Pisces is the energy of the bodhisattva, of the collective consciousness, of unity consciousness, of supporting and serving humanity. It's the last astrological evolutionary point before we begin again in Aries. It is, in its ascended form, the one who is being of divine service to the world. And I know that is part of what you're here to do, right? To be of service, to help, to heal. Pisces, when there's a lot of shadow and imbalance, can just be this dreamer that gets nothing done and is just lost in la la land. And I mean, that's not the vibe. We can't do that anymore. So this full moon and this eclipse, it's let's consciously release the pieces that are keeping us from really dreaming into what is possible in terms of that unity consciousness field that you actually did come here to be a part of, right? All of the separation, all of this verse, them versus us and the fighting energy, we can start to release that. And can we release the pieces that keep us stuck in dreamland? Work with that Virgo earth energy that's we can ground this into reality and make it something tangible. Work with that Capricorn earth energy of master builder stuff, because this is the thing, these archetypes are never working alone. They're working interconnectedly in this ecology, and it might look really intense. And also, I'm not talking about all the sextiles and the quartiles and the conjunctions and all of that. I'm not getting into that. But when you do, you're going to go, holy crap, this fall, it's crazy. But again, it's happening for us, for our evolution. It's happening so that we can bring heaven to earth. We can co-create it. When I say we're co-creating new earth, I'm not saying we're going to experience this light switch flip on and everything's going to be new and ascended and shiny and iridescent and sparkly. Gaia has some of those realms already now. You can tap into them now. They're already here. But New Earth is the co-creation that is happening through our own evolution and through what we as the healers, the light workers, the helpers, the intuitives, the energetically sensitive, the witches, the starseeds, whatever, the earth angels, doesn't matter what you identify as, that feeling of I'm here to help, we can do better, we can do something different. This is your chance to shine. This is our time. We came here for this. We came here for this. So we're going to need to do it. We're going to need to take action, and we can't leave it in dreamland. That is not the vibe. So I also want this full moon to eliminate for you anything that is in the way of you believing in your own magic, of believing in the possibilities that exist within you and of what you can create. All the doubts, all the fears this September, I think they're going to come up and they're going to be highlighted. That's a good thing though. It's a good thing because it allows us to see them, feel them, release them, right? This is the great illumination that's happening right now on the evolutionary journey. We have to see it all the muck, all the ick, all the stuff that's not working. So what if we can have a little more fun with it? Now, on September 22nd, the sun is going to enter Libra, and your mind is going to be open to even more possibilities, which is going to help you out during this eclipse wormhole if you let it, okay? As you're traveling from eclipse through to the other side, we're going to have a solar eclipse in October at the beginning, like 2nd or 3rd, and then again, another lunar eclipse on the 17th. So that's all happening in the energy of Libra, which means that we need to focus on Libra and its like aligned, ascended form, not the shadow self. Libra is here to be in balance and, dare I say, harmony, and to bring us the opportunity to see everybody's perspectives, not just from an equal point of view, but from equity, like what is actually not just fair, but just, you know, that thing, if you have people that you're all treating the same, but one person needs extra help with, you know, reading and writing, and the other one needs a wheelchair, but you give them all extra math tutoring, then nobody's getting what they need. If you give them all a wheelchair, nobody's getting what they need, right? But if you give the person that's struggling in reading and writing the tutor for reading and writing, and you give the person who needs a wheelchair, very simplified example of it, then you have equity, right? It's about really looking at how it's all different, and that's a beautiful thing. Libra wants that equity and harmony and bringing all perspectives to the table, all the voices to the table. But when Libra is unbalanced, it goes, okay, I have to hear absolutely everything and I can't actually make a decision. And again, kind of like that Virgo energy, there can be some indecision and analysis paralysis and this like spinning out because of how unfair it is right now and how unjust it is right now. That's not the vibe of evolution and growth that you are here for. Our luminous evolution, which is what I am here to support you in, is about looking around, gathering the voices, seeing the different perspectives, and then going, okay, I have gathered those, and here is my perspective, and still sharing our voice, right? Sharing our voice, because that is also just, it is also essential. So we get to be a part of it. There are so many light workers and healers that are only being of service, and they're only helping, and they're only doing their thing, and they are not actually receiving. That's out of balance. We need to harmonize the giving and the receiving in this Libra energy and during this eclipse wormhole, because if you want to be spit out the other end with more capacity for abundance, for service, for growth, for evolution, and to actually have fun with it, we do need to bring harmony into that giving and receiving, right? In equal measure. And Libra is also a really great time to do that. So this is your chance to stop whining about how unfair things have been in the past. I get it, it has sucked. And you are so valid in your pain in that. But it is holding you back from actually stepping into the power that you have, the magic that you have, and what you're here to do. Life is not fair. That Libra energy wishes it was so very much that it can get stuck, right? It's just not. This is the game that we came here to play, and our job is to do what we can to bring equality forward and also not get stuck in the pain of the unjustness, right? There are so many people, and witnessing this in social media activism, especially, where change is not actually happening because there's just a lot of infighting about who should get the attention, because who needs the help the most. Like, just, we're all here to focus on a certain area, and I need to speak to you about that. You don't have to help everyone. You're not here to help everyone. That actually wouldn't be fair or just or equal, profitable, or even helpful. Okay, you are here to serve a very specific group of people you are soul contracted with to support, to serve, the people who resonate, the people who get it, the people that are experiencing things that you have lived through, that you have the solutions to. Just as an example of what is possible. That is your role, to be an example of what is possible and to share the codes. And many of you are going to be moving into doing that in a bigger way. That's what this evolutionary journey is all about. If you're a healer, a wayshower, a light worker, and I'm wishing you all so much fun on the journey in September as you are being asked to step up into more balance, more flow, but also over the course of these years, more of that light, more of that radiance, more of who you truly are in your authentic magic. And so if you are someone who is working in this field professionally, helping, healing, teaching, in a business somehow, that you feel is a divine calling, that you know is your sole purpose, maybe you don't even want to run a business, but you're like, this is the best way for me to actually be able to help people. I want to invite you into a 5-day free experience with me called Building with Light. It's a micro mind where you can apply to be part of this mini mastermind experience where I can coach you through some of what we're going through right now, which is learning how to build our businesses and our impact and our life with light instead of the old energy. So if you don't resonate with the old way of doing things in marketing and business, and you know you're here to do something new and that's important for you, I invite you to fill out the application if you are watching this before September the 5th. Then I will be tuning in with everybody who fills out the application. And if you are the right fit for this intimate experience, you can come along on the journey with me. I also want to make sure that you know that I have free resources for you, as well as all kinds of offerings to support, and so many really exciting things coming up in September. It's a really big month for lightworkers and in my luminous evolution world. I'm going to share that you can always get my free energy upgrade academy. The link to that is just beside or below, however you're watching this, with my favorite magical tools. And I will be offering my transformational journey facilitator certification in October. So make sure that you are connected and that you're in my world if you are wanting to expand your skill set. But we also have a mastermind launching. We have a divine channel course launching. So please make sure that you are around, not just here on YouTube, but come and join the free Facebook group, Luminous Evolution, where we can connect and speak, and I can make sure that you get all the information as it comes. Now, I'll also just end with sharing that the Luminous Evolution podcast is also now available for you to explore. If you love this content, well, take a peek at the podcast, because it is going to be exactly the same, but more of it, and probably more frequently as well. So not the energy updates per se, but me sharing how I can support you as a light worker, as a healer, as an intuitive and energetically sensitive person who is here to help. We've got this. It's all happening for us, and it's your time to shine. Sending you so much love. We'll talk soon.